Hello students, today we are going to see one experiment which is going to verify the laws of refraction of light. Now for that we are going to require three things, that is, first is the plain paper, next is the glass slab, a scale, a protector and few pins. Our aim of the experiment is going to be to measure the angle of incidence, the angle of refraction, the angle of emergence, and to verify the law of refraction. Now, the first thing which we are going to do is, that is, we are going to fix the drawing paper on a drawing board or a thermocol, whichever is available. Next, we are going to place the rectangular glass slab on it and mark its boundary with a pencil. Now see, I have already kept the glass slab on the paper and I have drawn the boundary of the glass slab. See, the boundary will be seen like this. After that, we are going to remove the glass slab and we are going to draw the normal MN, that is M1 MN. Now this normal you can draw at anywhere with the help of the protector or with the help of the scale. You are going to draw one straight line. Okay. This is going to be the normal of our experiment. So I will label it MN, M1 and N1. And also we are going to label this rectangular, that is P, Q, R and S. Now after drawing this normal M1 N1, where this normal is intersecting this boundary of the glass slab, outline of the glass slab, I will name it as O. Draw a line AO which makes an angle of incidence of 30 degree with the normal. Now we will place the protector here, okay, and we are going to draw an angle of 30 degree. So by keeping the protector here, I will make the angle of 30 degree and I am going to extend it further. So this is the incident ray. Incident ray means what? A ray coming from the source of light. I will name it as A. So this AO ray is forming an angle with this normal. This is 30 degree as we have measured. This is the which is forming an angle of incidence. This is I will mention here incident ray, right? Now, and this is angle I will mention here, that is the angle of, I will write here, this is angle of incidence, okay, so which is 30 degree. Now I am going to fix two pins on line AO, okay. I am going to fix two pins AO such that the pins are vertical and well separated. Means on this line anywhere I will place the two pins. The pins are vertical and they are well separated. Well separated means what? The distance between the two pins should be sufficient. Okay, I will name this first pin as P1. Let it be P1 and it will be P2. After that, what I will do, again I am going to replace the glass slab on the boundaries, on its the original position. So accurately I will keep the glass slab on this position. See, it should be properly fixed on the boundaries. Okay, now I am going to observe the image of the bases of pin 1 and pin 2 through the glass slab from the position of side, that is from this side, SR side, and I am going to place the new 2 pins such that the bases of this pin are exactly in line with the image of the base of the pins which are fixed on the side P and Q. So for that you have to bend down with the, and you just have to observe. I am taking 2 pins in my hands, and here I will show, just a minute. See from this side. See, you can clearly see how the pins are there, right? Now I am going to place, see, here is the part when, see, if you will see from this side, you can clearly see the pins, the 2 pins are at the 2 separate places. Now if I will change the angle of my observation, you will see that 2 pins seem to be a single pin. At that single line I am going to place my pin exactly in the same line. See, you can see where I am placing it is exactly coming in the same line. Just pierce it. Okay, see, exactly you can see. So these 2 lines are going to come this, see, now this is the angle from where you can see one single pin. This is the way we are going to place it. Okay, now see, I have from above, it is going to look like this. Okay, now wherever I have fixed the pin, that is the new pin, I will name them as P3 and P4. Okay, so this new pierced pin, I will name them P3, and this is going to be my P4. Now I am going to remove the pins, as well as I will remove the glass slab. I am removing the glass slab, and I am removing the pins of both the sides. Okay, now see, I will just circle it. You will get a small hole where you have inserted the pin. You will circle it so that it will be clearly seen to you. Okay, now I will place my scale as if it will get connected with the line. That is, I am going to draw a line from these 2 points, and I am going to join it here. See, same way from this side. Okay, I have joined the line. Now the point where this ray and the side SR is intersecting, I will name that point as B, and the way we have drawn here M1 and N1 as normal, exactly the same way I am going to draw a normal here also. You can draw it with the help of the protector so that it will come exactly perpendicular to the side SR. I will name it as M2 and N2. Now here I am going to join the point O and point B. See? Okay. Now, if you will see, this is the emergent ray. Okay. This ray is the emergent ray. Okay. And this, the way this is the normal, this is also the normal. I will label it normal. Students, while performing an experiment, labeling plays a very important role. It also shows that you have much knowledge about that experiment, and the viewer also have a very beautiful view for that. Now see, the angle formed by line OB with the normal, it is the refracted angle. This is refracted angle, and this OB, it is nothing but it is the refracted ray. Okay, this is also normal, and the line means, see, the incident ray came from the rare medium, entered the denser medium, and again it came to the rare medium. At each point you can see that the light ray is changing its angle slightly. That is what, when a light of ray travels from one transparent medium to the another transparent medium, it changes its direction. That is known as the refractive index. Here the emergent ray, this I will call it as C. This emergent ray BC with the normal, it is forming the angle of emergent. So I will label it as E. So the same way how we gave the name, this is a refracted ray, this is the refracted angle, same way this angle is going to be the emergent angle. And if you will see that the line which has been incident from the rare medium, it is coming exactly parallel to our emergent ray. Now in this experiment we will also observe that the angle of emergent, which is represented as E. Now this same procedure we can repeat for the another angle. Here we took 30 degree, we can also take it 45 degree, and angles 45 degree or 60 degree. Each time you will observe that this angle I is exactly equal to the angle E. That is, angle of incidence is equal to the angle of emergent. Now with the help of this, we are going to find the ratio sin I upon sin R. Now after performing this experiment, we will find the ratio sin I upon sin R. Now sin I we already know it is 30. You will measure the sin R. It is going to come 20. It is, if you will measure this, 20 degree. I have measured it. It is 20 degree. So you will find that sin I upon sin R, it is always root 2. That is, the sin I upon sin R is always constant. So I hope students you have understood the experiment. It is very easy, and we have few conclusions for this. That is, incident ray AO, that is this one, incident ray AO and emergent ray BC are parallel to each other. That we have already proved by drawing this. The lateral shift is equal to CD. Okay, our lateral shift CD, it is what? This one. The lateral shift means the line which I have, the incident ray which I have extended further, I have named it as D. So these two lines are exactly parallel to each other. The angle of incident I, that is this one, the angle of incident I is greater than angle of refraction. This means when a ray of light travel from air to glass, This medium is air definitely. If we keep the glass here, it is what? It is the we will say that ray of light is passing through the glass medium. So we will say that that I angle of incidence is greater than angle of refraction. This means when ray of light travels from air to glass, it bends toward the normal. This is the normal. So it is this line, that is incident ray, it is bending toward the normal. Next conclusion next thing we conclude, that is angle I, that is angle of incidence, is equal to the angle of emergent. If you will measure this is angle 30. If you will, with the help of the protractor, if you will measure this angle emergent, is going to come angle, that is 30 degrees. Next conclusion we saw that what? The incident ray and the refracted ray are on the opposite side of the normal. See, incident ray and refracted ray are on the opposite side of the normal to the surface at the point of incident, and all the three, that is the incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal, 1, 2 and 3, all these three lies in the same plane. So this is one of the law of refraction. For a given pair of media, that is for the given pair of medium, here medium, what is the pair of medium? That is air is one medium and the glass slab is the one medium. The ratio of sine of angle of incidence, that is the ratio of sine of incidence to the sine of angle of reflection is constant. This is known as Snell's law. When the ratio of I to the ratio of R is constant, that is known as the Snell's law. This constant is called the refractive index of the second medium with respect to the first medium. Thus, the law of refraction of light is verified. Thank you very much, students. I hope you have understood the practical.